evening. You're watching us live from the Gambia Radio and Television Services, and this is the news coming to us straight from Banjul, also coming up. President Barrow presides over the grand launch of the National People's Party at the Independence Stadium in Bakau, with tens of thousands of supporters in attendance. Expanding the judicial arm of government, President Barrow presides over the opening of the 2021 legal year, highlighting his government's stance on the independence of the judiciary. The new Malaysian High Commissioner and Egyptian Ambassador to the Gambia has today presented their letters of credence to Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Mamadou Tangara. And in the internationals, the army in Myanmar has executed a coup d'etat, arresting incumbent President Aung San Suu Kyi and senior members of her government. The World Health Organization investigates the origin of the COVID-19 pandemic in the city of Wuhan, which has now infected over 100 million people, whilst killing over 2 million. Well, these and many stories coming ahead in the next 30 minutes. Thank you for joining us. Now, many thanks for joining GRTS News with me, Fatu Janimbai. We begin this edition of the bulletin with the presidency, where His Excellency Adama Barrow on Saturday presided over the official launch of the National People's Party. The grand ceremony held at the Independence Stadium in Bakau marks a historic turning point for Gambian politics, attracting tens of thousands of supporters at both home and beyond. Modijala has the rest of details in this report.
The historic launching of the National People's Party was arguably the most anticipated event since its formation in 2019. Tens of thousands of people filled the Independence Stadium in Bakau in what could be described as the largest gathering of party supporters and militants. Several prominent political figures also attended the event to show solidarity and cement their alliance, which has stood the test of time. The momentum had been building since morning and climaxed with the president's arrival, escorted by thousands of people on foot and horseback through the Kairaba Avenue to the Independence Stadium. After the euphoria had subsided, party officials took turns to address the crowds, expressing delight in seeing such an unprecedented turnout. Mamanyik Nyai, the administrative secretary of the party, described the event as a turning point in the Gambia's political development, adding that the NPP will positively contribute to national development and democracy. He reiterated that the party has opened its doors to all Gambians, irrespective of their ethnic or religious backgrounds, as it is guided by the principles of integrity, respect, and freedom. The regional chairman of the Kanivi municipality, Unda Nyang, welcomed delegates to the historic launching, adding that it marks a new era of political consciousness, as it has given citizens a choice to showcase their political preference. The National Women's Mobilizer, Maimuna Balde, described women as the backbone of the party, and therefore urged them to continue to empower President Barrow to ensure victory in the presidential election slated for December this year. A representative of the diaspora, Lamin Demba, disclosed that the NPP has made significant inroads in attracting support within the diaspora community, but reassured that they will continue to reach out to as many countries as possible by opening new branches to attract Gambians. The national president of the party, Alhaji Dembo Bojang, who has positioned himself as a staunch supporter of President Barrow, said the Gambian leader has the right credentials, integrity, and charisma to lead the country, describing him as a true patriot and committed servant of the people. He therefore appealed to all Gambians to join the NPP, as it remains the only champion of democracy, good governance, and development. In his launching statement, President Barrow welcomed the formation of the NPP party as a true reflection of the will and aspirations of the Gambian people who entrusted him with their destiny. The president therefore reassured that he is up to the task and will deliver as expected.
I have accepted to form this party, together with all of you, to provide a platform for us to collectively fight the social divisions, the political cracks, and institutional failures that have persistently undermined the peace, stability, progress, and development of our dear motherland. Be assured that this is a party devoted to creating, expanding, and sustaining space for popular participation in development, as politically mature, democratic, patriotic, and economically independent citizens.
President Barrow acknowledged the challenges that lie ahead, but argued that with the support and right attitude, the future looks bright as his administration has already laid robust foundations for the socio-economic and political advancement of the country. He vowed to continue on this development trajectory, saying the NPP is the answer to the challenges we face as a country.
Our party's vision is to build a nation we can proudly call home. This is derived from the desire for positive, transformative change that will result in an all-inclusive, all-progressive, and an accomplished society of happy, peaceful, dignified, and united people who are proud to call Gambia home. We believe in democracy for good governance, as it is defined by the law and approved by the people. We do not believe in any form of governance that contravenes the Gambia's shared ideals and values. Accordingly, we denounce and reject all forms of dictatorship and degrading treatment of human beings or communities. We believe that all are equal before the law, and all human beings have the same fundamental rights to life and good living.
The Gambian leader outlined a comprehensive plan of action as contained in the party manifesto to address all areas of development, but laid emphasis on youth and women empowerment as priority areas that will receive significant attention.
We believe that the youth should be meaningfully involved in discussions and taking on youth matters intensify as part of the strategies to address youth unemployment, crime, illegal migration, drug abuse, and all devices associated with this invaluable resource of the nation. The women of Gambia are part of the political and economic vanguard of the nation. They constitute a bigger percent of the Gambian population than their male compatriots and contribute very significantly towards nation building.
The president therefore reached out to all Gambians to embrace the MPP party, describing it as a party of the masses. With barely a year since it was formed, the MPP has already broken new grounds by contesting and winning 2 by-elections in Nyamina and Jokadu. With the official launching of the NPP, the party leadership and its supporters are hopeful that this will give the party the leverage to galvanize Gambians to replicate the feat that President Barrow achieved 5 years ago when he swept the polls in a historic landslide. Mohamed Diallo, GRTS News.
Well, we now shift attention to some legal matters and take a look at the legal calendar, which His Excellency President Adama Barrow yesterday presided over to open the 2021 legal year. As Babakar Senghor reports, the ceremony held at the Law Courts Complex in Banjul was witnessed by the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, Cabinet Ministers and the Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow, with the aim to reflect on challenges and map the way forward. More in this report.
This is one of the most important days of the legal calendar, and one that had the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, and his cabinet out to grace the opening ceremony of the legal year 2021. Addressing the gathering, President Barrow highlighted the numerous strides undertaken by his government in promoting reform, building the rule of law, and ensuring judicial independence. Key elements, he said, are important in any democratic society.
While we reflect on 2020 as a trying and extraordinary year globally, let me reassure you that my government remains firm and passionate about promoting and upholding good governance. The rule of law and respect for human rights are spelled out in the National Development Plan 2018-2021. Because the plan ends this year, it is necessary that we begin the evaluation process of our performance so far, with a view to designing a successful plan. In the interim, we can pride ourselves on the significant achievements recorded in the key areas of good governance, human rights, rule of law, and women empowerment.
The President also took time to announce other major landmark plans of his government in sustaining the gains made in the improvement of the Gambia's justice delivery system particularly moves been taken by his government to promote the Gambianization of the judiciary.
For the first time in Gambian history, the judiciary is implementing a strategic plan for the period 2021-2025 in order to deliver justice without fear or favor, honestly, consistently, and devotedly in the public interest. This reassurance complements my New Year's message, in which I call on all personnel of institutions and disciplines across all sectors to adopt quality performance and quality results as their mantra. An indigenized and gender-inclusive judiciary continue to be a main focus of this government.
This is an important day for the judiciary, and one that was highlighted in the speech delivered by the Chief Justice, Hassan B. Jallow, who said the objective of the annual occasion is for stock-taking of the machinery of justice.
The object of this occasion, now a regular item on the state annual calendar since 1982, continues to be the same. That is an occasion for stock-taking of the machinery of justice, reflection on the challenges and dialogue on the way forward to meeting those challenges and to promoting the rule of law in our community through the delivery of quality justice. A number of other activities are thus planned for the rest of this week, which will provide such an opportunity, including a cold bar tomorrow, the 1st of February, of some 51 Gambians who have successfully completed the vocational stage of their training at the Gambia Law School.
The Gambia has made significant strides in recent times in ensuring that the judiciary remains independent, and those efforts, according to government officials, will continue as the Gambia continues its democratization process. For GRTS News, this is Babakar Senghor.
Well, still on legal matters, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dauda Jallow, and the Chief Justice, Hassan B. Jallow, has today presided over the 9th call to the bar ceremony held in Bijilom. 82 homegrown solicitors and barristers of the courts, including 31 Ghanaians, have succeeded to have undergone a successful academic and vocational training at the Gambia Law School. As Usman Mani reports, the class of 2019-2020 graduates are expected to administer justice in the years ahead.
The legal year 2021 begins on a good note as 82 new lawyers are called to the bar following successful trainings at the Gambia Law School. 31 new baristas of the graduating class are Ghanaians who had completed their studies online in Ghana at a time COVID-19 struck the country. Witnessing the ceremony through virtual platform, the new baristas also received the blessings of the General Legal Council. In his welcome statement, the chairperson of the General Legal Council, who doubles as the Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow, commended the new solicitors for their tireless efforts during their course of studies and further advised them to serve as officers of the courts.
You have succeeded in undertaking the academic and the vocational part. And what remains now is just a short stint of pupillage before being considered, being evaluated for enrollment. Enrollment, of course, is not automatic. You will need to be evaluated even after your pupillage. And if you are found to be fit and proper persons for enrollment, you will then be enrolled. And I hope, of course, that all of you will fit that particular description. This is an important stage, as I said. Perhaps within a year, you probably will be enrolled as legal practitioners. But even at this stage, it's important for you to remember that you are poised to join an honorable and a noble profession.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dauda A. Jallow, noted the significant investment by the government of the Gambia in producing the homegrown lawyers. He advised the graduating class as they are now called to the bar to be guided by the code of conduct as dictated by the profession.
I will not be doing justice without commending the government for putting the proper infrastructure and facilities in place, thereby investing heavily towards producing young, trained legal professionals, both from the Gambia and within the sub-region. This is not only a significant achievement for the country domestically, but also paved the way in impacting lives of people outside the Gambia. The legal profession is a learned and noble one. However, it is a distinguished office which calls for one to act professionally with dignity, high sense of morality, humility, and respect towards others.
The chief guest of the event, a doyen of the legal profession and senior member of the bar, Surahata B.S. Jane, in his wisdom, advised the new officers of the courts to exercise respect, honesty, and commitment to service.
The fundamental goal is the cultivation and constant maintenance of honor and integrity in all activities. The legal practitioner is a member of an ancient profession which is universally recognized as indispensable in a modern state which calls for the rule of law and human and people's rights. You must be reminded that in this profession, you must strive to be ethical and in particular, avoid foul use of money not belonging to you. Recently, the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council has commendably been more active in bringing aberrant lawyers to book. You may be aware that some of your colleagues suffered from punishment, including disbarment, for serious financial and other malpractices.
The Director General of the Gambia Law School, Rugi Tomasi, and the most outstanding student, Eram Gabla Gale, thanked the staff and lecturers of the law school, as well as the government of the Gambia, for achieving this milestone to contribute to justice administration of the Gambia. Certificates and prizes of excellence were also awarded to outstanding students of the class of 2019-2020. Usman Mane, GRTS.
Well, we'll now take a look at the diplomatic community and head to the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Banjul, where the new Malaysian High Commissioner to the Gambia, Dr. Jalina Zainul Abidin, has today presented her letters of credence to Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Mamadou Tangara. The ceremony, as Farmer Abaji reports, also witnessed the presentation of similar credentials by Egyptian Ambassador Noha Khader. More in this report.
This marked the beginning of her official confirmation as the successor of the former Malaysian ambassador to the Gambia, Sarina Abdullah. Dr. Zainul Abidin presented her letters of credence to the Foreign Affairs Minister Mamadou Tangara in his office, with a closed-door engagement before speaking to the press.
The Minister and I spoke about how we could enhance relations despite the pandemic. Of course, our aspirations, our hope that this will soon be over. And how small countries like Gambia and Malaysia can cooperate on the multilateral level at the UN, with the WHO, with other multilateral organizations, in order to ensure that we are not left behind.
The High Commissioner further said Malaysia will continue to collaborate with the Gambia in many areas of development that will include education.
Malaysia has a number of scholarships. In fact, last year we had about 50 scholarships which were not taken up. So this year we are renewing again, appeal to the Gambian students who have finished their O-levels, are ready for university, to apply, because these are full scholarships given by a private university in Malaysia.
In a related development, the Egyptian ambassador to the Gambia, Noha Khader, also presented her letters of credence to Minister Tangara. The two discussed cooperation agreements on agriculture, capacity building, health, among others.
We have already ongoing ones in the areas of capacity building programs, health, security, education, agriculture, fishery. Also, we're cooperating in the field of health. We're establishing a relation between the Ministry of Health and the Faculty of Medicine in Egypt. We want to provide equipments and training to the hospitals and doctors of the Gambia.
The new Malaysian High Commissioner Zainul Abidin and the Egyptian ambassador to the Gambia, Noha Keder, are now expected to begin their official tour of duty with aim to improving relations and development cooperation. Farmer Abaji, GRTS News.
Well, still ahead for you on the program, the National Assembly Public Enterprise Committee has told the Gambia Public Printing Corporation to get their 2019 Audited Activity Report and Financial Statement ready on or before the 26th of February. The disclosure was made, excuse me, beg your pardon. The disclosure was made by the Public Accountability Committee, which is exercising its oversight authority to ensure the smooth functioning of public institutions. Momodu Sise, Managing Director of GPPC, explained the reason for their setback in this excerpt.
The reason for not being able to submit this report had various issues, and we had change of auditors from the start. From last time we submitted our 2017 and 18 reports. Immediately after that, there was change of auditors, and we had to go through the normal process of recruiting auditors, which took some time. Finally, the Auditor General was able to appoint the HAT and Co as our new auditors. So this is the first time they are doing their audit with us. And usually, when you have new entrant town to auditors, usually there are a lot of protocols and procedures that they would always want to enter before they finalize. Unfortunately, also, before the auditors could actually submit the report, we also had our board expire, the terms of our board of directors expired in October. And we had to write to the ministry, our own ministry, Ministry of Communication and Information, for them to appoint the new board of directors. Unfortunately, it took a while also for the board to be appointed. We only received the appointment of the board last week, Thursday, and it is effective 1st of February 2021, which was exactly today. These are some of the reasons why we had a delay.
Well, that was Momodu Sise, the managing director of the Gambia Public Printing Corporation, there explaining their setback before, of course, the members of the Public Enterprise Committee of the National Assembly. And with that, we'll take a first break. When we return, we'll take a look at news beyond our shores. To stay with us.
Are you an IT lover looking for opportunities? Did you know you can find a wide range of education or specialized training institutes in the Gambia, such as Suna Institute of Science and Technology, CAMSIS Technology, and Insight Training Center offering information training? You can explore the diverse world of information technology with the use of computer, storage, networking, and other physical devices. As a certified information technology graduate, you stand a better chance of exploring meaningful opportunities such as finding your dream job or starting your own business. These institutions do not just stop at certified training. As a graduate, you can benefit from career guidance opportunities, including job application and interview preparation. Are you one of those who believe that taking the back way is the only way to success? Head over to wakawell.info/Gambia to find out more about safe migration procedures and local opportunities for education, employment, and entrepreneurship in the Gambia.
Meet Sarah and Tracy from the top 8 finalists of the Be a Star Sierra Leone. Their lives changed from day one. New original songs. Be famous and successful. Be a star in the Gambia.
The biggest stage right now in Sierra Leone.
Being a part of Be a Star is going a step further in chasing my dreams and my career as an artist.
All you have to do is record a video of you singing your favorite song, not more than 2 minutes long. Send the video by WhatsApp to the following number, 2299944, using an AfriCell number. State your name and where you're from. Be a winner of a fully recorded album and $500,000. AfriCell Be a Star, your road to success.
Welcome back to GRTS News. And in the internationals, Aung San Suu Kyi has been detained again. 10 years on, her popularity in Myanmar is higher than ever. But internationally, her reputation has been tarnished since she took political office as Myanmar State Councillor in 2016. Sunday's coup d'etat have led to her arrest on early Monday morning with members of her party. The move comes after months of tension between the military and the government over disputed elections, which the army said was fraudulent due to a narrow margin win by Aung San Suu Kyi's party. More in this report by France 24.
Alone that we're in this movement for democracy. It's for all of us.
From staunch opponent of military dictatorship to a leader of a regime accused of genocide, the fate of Aung San Suu Kyi lies yet again in the hands of the military junta. Born in Yangon in 1944, she's the daughter of one of the heroes of the country's war for independence. She was just 2 years old when her father was assassinated. She studied in India and at Oxford in England, where she settled with her family. In 1988, she returned to Yangon to care for her ailing mother, and it was then that she was swept up into politics, leading a pro-democracy movement in the midst of a brutal military repression. In 1989, she was placed under house arrest, refusing to leave the country in exchange for freedom. 2 years later, she earned the Nobel Peace Prize for her activism. She was freed in November of 2010 and elected to Parliament in 2012.
We must seize the opportunity to reform the country. If we lose this opportunity, we'll go down in history as guilty.
Her persistence paid off in 2015, when her party won the majority in legislative elections. The following year, she became state councillor, co-leading the country with the military. But her silence over the persecution of the Rohingya minority stoked widespread international criticism. In 2017, some 700,000 Rohingya refugees were forced to flee to Bangladesh amid claims of ethnic cleansing.
Well, we will take our second break now. Do stay with us.
Foyte mu moleti min lafita ka londi luka ringo soto IT andung isu lata bundalu le laje. Foyalo ne ko karan dinkiral be Gambia banko kanne minul boko Suna Institute of Science and Technology, Kamsi Technology and Inside Training Center, daming ika Information Technology londo karan DJ. Isa kujama lono Information Technology la fanna kono ni ye munafan computer la ani jaman laban joran kotangolo. Ni ye Information Technology karan foy jita ye certificate soto, isi harje no bunda kumayarin jamalto minul buko kela hamena doku soto waranke fansum business o kumasi. Woko la nyin karambungol ebe continue lale kiwati ni wati ke yamar doku o inyanta nyini la nyameng warang ibe minekela ni bitala interview dula. Fuite be kafuru molle kono mini ya mira ko ni manta bagwe ite kutu tela. Imunafang wakaweb.info/Gambia ise kibar senengo soto sila koiringol kata bantala bankol kang aning fanang ni sulata kakarang doku soto aning julaya Gambia banko kang.
Welcome back to GRTS News, and now to recap our news, of course, let's take a look at our top stories once again. President Barrow presides over the grand launch of the National People's Party at the Independence Stadium in Bakau, with tens of thousands of supporters in attendance. Expanding the judicial arm of government, President Barrow presides over the opening of the 2021 legal year, highlighting his government's stance on the independence of the judiciary. And the new Malaysian High Commissioner and Egyptian Ambassador to the Gambia have today presented their letters of credence to Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Mamadou Tangara. And in the internationals, the army in Myanmar has executed a coup d'etat, arresting incumbent President Aung San Suu Kyi and senior members of her government. The World Health Organization investigates the origin of the COVID-19 pandemic in the city of Wuhan, which has now infected over 100 million people whilst killing over 2 million. Well, that's it from me, Fatu Janimbai. That was all in this edition of the 2000 Hours News on GRTS, and I'll see you again, inshallah, at 2200 Hours for another edition of the news. Until then, good night.
Hello! There's a new update from your favorite